Hello, welcome to Loremaster's Lair. I'm your Loremaster, here to continue to explore the universe of Pathfinder, though we are in a thorough Starfinder area today, continuing to examine the examination of the Veskarium, today starting with Vesk Prime itself. Let's get started. Vesk Prime is the homeworld of the Vesk. In the beginning of history, there was war between the Veskarium tribes. However, seeing the potential for more, Shavak the Farsighted united the Vesk under the banner of the god the Mortage, leading them to begin conquering the planet. First, they defeated the hyena-like Scarashams head-on, then the hidden and manipulative Kaigawas, which all of this was the same from the general Vesk video. Eventually, they developed spaceflight and continued their wave of conquests across the solar system. But as for the planet, this is the time when we get started with Side Tangent 1, the part of the show where we remember the dead and buried. The Vesk in their conquests wiped out two native species of the homeworld, so let's take a moment to remember them both. The first are the Skaraskins, those who lived in what is remembered today as the Skaraskin Plain. They were hyena form, not unlike Kolos on Golarion. The Vesk easily overwhelmed them, and despite trying to surrender several times, the Vesk slaughtered them to the last. The second, the Sobatime Kayagawas, lived in the eastern wastes. After seeing the slaughter, they attempted to survive through moving their cities underground with magic. But even still, the Vesk found a way to pursue them and wipe them out as well. Well, at least they think they did. To this day, the Kaigawas are a ghost story of children, with warnings that they will come back one day for revenge. The only remaining intelligent species native to the planet are the Vesk. They made sure of it. That said, with their policy for other planets being less genocidal, many of the creatures from the other Veskarium planets also find their way here. Majorly Pathras and Skidomanders, and minorly Ichikris and Kothamos. Never have to pronounce either of those out loud before, but anyway. And further, since their alliance against the Swarm began, many Packworld species can be found on the planet as well. Equally diverse is side tangent number 2. The Keepers of the Lie. Shortly after the gap, a group found a frozen being on Vesk 8, which claimed to them that the world was actually just created at the end of the gap, there truly having not been anything before that time. Those who believe the creature started an organization, crime family more like, called the Keepers of the Lie. Their purpose being to eradicate all artifacts which falsely claim of a time before the gap. This organization does not care about anything like ancestry or place of origin, and all who pass the tests to join them get a new name, showing they forgo the path given to them and forge their own path. The Veskarium itself is ruled by the Council of Despots, which the world of Vesk Prime is ruled by the High Despot, who is equal in rank to the others, but ruling from the homeworld gives her more influence. The planet is divided into 99 administrative districts, ruled by high-ranking military officers. But ancient houses have usually kept their holds over their ancestral holdings for untold amount of times. But of course, there are more powers than the government, as our third side tangent shows. The Abazoberis family started out as a middling family which never were able to make any great achievements. That changed when Velatorish Abzabari took over the family. Willing to do anything to put a family ahead of others, from bribery to assassination, she transformed the family into one that was ruthless. And she instilled is the one I'm looking for, instilled the same mindset into her children, nieces, and nephews, and eventually ended up with the family being the largest crime family in the Veskarium. The matriarchal family has now passed, and the heirs squabble how best to make their family name live forever, even some advocating for a suicidal war against the Veskarium itself. For religion, of course, the main religion on the planet is the Mortosh, the patron deity of the Vesk as a people, and warmonger among gods. But they also have a natural faith for samurai. Vesk Prime, of course, being the closest planet in the solar system to the Sun. As more recent additions, Veskmara is popular among mercenaries, and the faith of Telebot has found its place among those few who are not militaristic. The planet is known for more landmarks and cities, but the big one is the capital, Command Prime, built in the heartlands of the Vesk's original territory. Built around the pyramid-shaped building of the same name, the town is both one of governance and, through statues and arena fights, one of glory and strength. Command Prime also houses the Cenotaph of the Fallen, an obelisk sacred to the Mortosh and inscribed with the names of all the Fallen ever. The Museum of the Fallen, which contains trophies of all conquests, and the Imperial Palace itself. Outside of the capital, the Vesk have divided their world into 4 parts. The place where they live, which is the central belt, the southern coast, which is the redder lands to the south of the main continent, the eastern wastes I mentioned earlier with the Kaigaras, which is technically a second continent, everything still being connected by land bridges, and the northern reach, the northern pole of the planet, which does not have ice next to the sun and all that. For specific locations, in the central veld where the old capital of the Scaleskins once stood, is a pantheon of honor, where statues of Vesk's greatest heroes stand. In the mountains which run the center of the land and act as land bridges to the northern reaches, known as the Veskarium Mountains, one will find Blood Mountain, home to the best production of spaceships since they first left the planet. Another mountain range, the Mulgari Wall, stands on the edge of the eastern wastes and contains the planet's largest mines. Finally, in the planet's oceans are 2 islands, the island of Kesh, which contains the center of the Mortosh's faith, the Great Heart of the Conqueror, and Soratosh Island, home of the most prestigious military academy, Storatosh Academy. Of course, it is not the only institute on the planet, with us having, by tangent number 4, the Govaneshka Institute. Vesk are not known for their use of magic, but they understand having as many tools as possible for war. Therefore, they founded this institution using the magical theses of their defeated enemies, the Scaleskins and the Saracens and the Kaigaras, which they then threw starting over. They took the magical theses of the Scaleskins and the Kaigaras, which they then threw in a crucible of competition between the different emergent ideas until the current style run out. That shouldn't have been hard to say, but whatever. While not the forefront of Vesk tools, the magic users who have graduated the school have proven themselves time and again on the battlefield. And finally, while we do not have much information on it, the planet has 1 moon, known as Yterakash, and also known as Moon Base Prime. Which brings us to the end of today's video. On a later note, we finally have a release date for Starfinder's Player Guide, being a Gen Con release. Will I do something special for it? Well, we will see. Currently working on building up plans now that I'm in a new place. But either way, more Veskarium next month and more Galarian next week. See you then.